What's going on, guys? Hey, thank you guys so much for stopping by for another episode of our not quite 7-minute news. I am Stubbs121 with Gamers Initiative, and I am so happy that you're here because today we're talking Nintendo. Nintendo. One of the big three, along with Sony and Microsoft. But Nintendo is trying to make waves with their release of the Nintendo Direct, which happened actually at the time of the recording yesterday. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this Nintendo Direct. Some highs, some lows, some meh, I would say so. But first, before we get down to that, please, if you guys do like what you see, definitely don't forget to hit that sub button, that like button, and that bell button to be notified of any new videos that are coming out. We certainly appreciate it. We really appreciate you stopping by, so thank you so much for just checking out this episode, as well as checking out the channel. But let's talk Nintendo, because that's what we're here for. That's why we are ready. That's why we are, why we are present today. So I'm really looking forward to it. At the time of this recording, Nintendo Direct February happened yesterday. And to be honest, like I said, there were couple highs, couple lows, I would say, and more of like meh ground. It really seems like Nintendo is kind of having a hard time trying to break into or try to kind of shake the rut that they may be in right now, because it feels like a lot of their stuff is very stagnant. It doesn't feel like a whole lot of things are really shaking it up, are really kind of putting it to Microsoft and Sony to say, hey, we are still in contenders for being one of the top, game systems, game companies. And it kind of was evident with the, with the Nintendo Direct. A lot of games that we had actually seen are actually just making their way to the Switch, which is really cool for a lot of people that really wanted to try certain games. But it seems like there's a lot more games that are just kind of being ported to the Switch, which is totally fine. Like I said, a lot of people really want to try those games, especially trying them on the run. You're on the bus, you're on a train, you're on a plane, also a great movie, by the way. Planes, trains, and automobiles. But I mean, seriously though, like, it feels like a lot of their stuff is just being ported to the Switch, which doesn't really have a whole lot of je ne sais quoi, I would say. A whole lot of strength behind it. But let's break down our highs, let's break down our lows, and let's break down our middle ground of kind of how we feel. So let's get underway. Let's do this. Here we go. Alright guys, we are breaking down the highs, so let's get underway. We are talking about the first one that they released, which is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now this game is super exciting. I had actually never played this game, but I have watched a number of people actually play it. I did watch a former roommate of mine in college play it, and it looks like a lot of fun. So the third installment of this series is being released very shortly. We are talking about September 2022, so that should be a pretty good amount of time for those of you that are big fans to really get ready, to really get excited for this new, this new installment with it. It will be released, like I said, September 2022. The new story will follow the adventures of Noah and Mia amid turmoil between the hostile nations of Kiev's and Angus. It looks to connect the futures of both Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, so that's really cool. So to be able to mix kind of 1 and 2 in that aspect, really kind of pull a lot of, what was great in 1 and 2 together. For those that are big fans of this series, you guys should be very excited, so I'm really excited for you guys. So that is a high. I'm really happy for you guys. So let's get underway with our next one. The next one is Mario Strikers are returning. Now this game is a soccer game for Mario games. Now we've seen, we've seen Olympics, we've seen kart racing, as you know, in Mario Kart, which we'll talk about very, very shortly as well too. But we are actually getting back into the soccer installment. Now Mario Strikers, or Super Mario Strikers, was first released in 2005 with a follow-up in 2007, Mario Strikers Charged. And so we're actually seeing another installment, which is 15 years after. If my dates are wrong, I do apologize about that as well too. Please let me know in the comments below if there are any additional ones, but those are the ones that I remember, because I do remember playing Mario Strikers on GameCube. So please let me know if I am incorrect on that, but I'm super excited for this one because I am a big fan of that, as I did own a GameCube when I was a kid. Wow, it's crazy to say that, but when I was a kid, holy cow, guys. But this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, what they're saying is this is going to be a 5v5 soccer game with no rules at all, which is going to be freaking crazy, to be honest, featuring Mario characters and allow up to 8 players to compete on one Switch. Now, that's really cool because, I have 4 controllers. I mean, I have 2 of the joysticks, but I have 4 right now, so I mean, it's 4 players plus another 4 players, 8 players in total. That's freaking massive in a Switch game, so I'm really, really excited for that. Much like Mario Mario Kart Battle League will let players use items and activate special shots to help them secure victory. This is really cool because if you have some supercharged up shot like you probably do in Super Smash Bros., you can just cannon that ball right into the net, and it would be freaking awesome. Now, this is set to release June 10th, 2022, so you better check this out. I'm going to be picking this up most likely, so I'm really excited for this because I cannot wait to kick my wife's butt at this game. Now, for those of you that did own a Wii when many years ago, as I unfortunately did not, but I did play a whole lot of this next one. We are talking about Wii Sports is coming to the Switch with a new revamped, new updated style, and I'm super excited for this because I've seen so many reels on Instagram, which you could totally check out below my Instagram, about the whole like Wii bowling thing. It is awesome. It's so cool, and I love it. So I'm really excited this when they did release this. Oh my gosh, this was so cool. I was like really, like, this is awesome. Like, to me personally, this was a major high because I loved Wii Sports. I thought it was so much fun just playing bowling, tennis, golf. Oh my gosh, just so much fun, honestly. It is going to be a lot of fun. Now, fans of the Wii Bowling will be happy to know a new version of it will be returning as part of the Nintendo Switch Sports. Joining bowling will be tennis, chambara, which is swordplay, soccer, badminton, and volleyball. I'm really excited for that too. Additionally, the leg strap accessory found in the Ring Fit Adventure can be used to kick a virtual ball in soccer shootouts. So that's really cool. So you can actually kind of play or pretend or kind of, you know, do the motions of a soccer kick. So that should be really fun. Now, Nintendo Switch Sports will be available April 29th, 2022, and there will be a free update post-launch, including one that adds golf. So if you were a big fan of the golf, it'll be right there. I promise you, it'll be right there, right next day. And if by some chance you are just so freaking excited to play Wii Sports and you cannot wait until you can actually get the chance to play, an online playtest will be available to all Switch users February 18th to the 20th. So you better get out there. You better check it out. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. When you guys do get a chance to play it, I will be playing it. I'm super excited because I cannot as well to wait to kick my wife's butt in pretty much anything. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys there. Let's get on to our next one. All right, next up on our list, we are talking about Metroid Dread. Now, there are two things that are coming out from Metroid Dread. At the time of this writing, they are saying that a free update is arriving for Metroid Dread later today, which was yesterday at the time of this recording, that will add both a more difficult mode called Dread Mode and an easier mode called Rookie Mode as well too. So that's really cool. The number two is that in April 2022, Metroid Dread will get a free boss rush mode. Not entirely sure what that means, but I'm assuming that it means that you are probably going to be able to go against every single boss kind of in a continuous event, you know, one right after the other, which is really cool. Also allowing for people today, you know, at the time that's writing, people to play even harder version of Metroid Dread, which I already heard it's a pretty difficult game as well too, but I heard it's a lot of fun, so I'd really like to pick it up myself. But that's Metroid Dread. Two really good things coming out from them from Nintendo Direct. Alright guys, if you guys are by chance a huge fan of Earthbound, I have personally never played it, but I'm really excited because Nintendo Direct did reveal that Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings are available to play on Nintendo Switch February 9th, which was the day of Nintendo Direct, which is really cool because if you never got the chance to play it, you have the perfect opportunity to play it. Now, for those of you that are still waiting for Earthbound 3, you're probably going to have to wait a little while longer because there are no announcements from Nintendo stating when this is going to happen. But that's totally okay because Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings are available to be played today. So you should definitely check them out if you are a fan. If you kind of want that nostalgia, if you kind of want to bring back those great old memories, you should definitely check it out. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are if you guys are going to pick this game up. And our final high, our final positive note when it comes to Nintendo Direct, we are talking about No Man's Sky. Now, No Man's Sky, when it first came out, got a lot of praise, and then it fell off real fast because what they had promised really didn't happen. Nothing happened. It was a vast space of literally nothing. Thousands of planets, which is really cool, but nothing. Since then, though, No Man's Sky has become an awesome, amazing adventure game that so many people are praising currently for all the updates and the adjustments, and what a lot of games that have, you know, faltered at the beginning are hoping to aspire to. A lot of references, you know, like Cyberpunk 22, a lot of people say that hopefully they can pull a No Man's Sky. Not be so great in the beginning, understand their faults, and build off of that to become an amazing game. And hopefully someday that game might be. But for those of you that are looking to get your hands on No Man's Sky that have never had the chance to play it, it is coming to Switch summer 2022. So you should be really excited for this. I am. An open world game, super vast, really looking forward to this. I cannot wait to get my hands on this because I never played it, but I am super excited for that. All right, guys, let's hit that middle ground. Let's talk about the meh. All right. First off, I'm not a huge fan of this. Like I said, I think it's a meh. I'm not a huge fan of kind of what's going on here, but that's just me. If you guys have a differing opinion, please let me know down below, because I am really curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. But yeah, so let's talk. Let's talk about this. I gotta adjust my mic here real quick. All right, guys, let's break down our meh. Let's break down our middle ground, where we're just not a huge fan of kind of what's going on, but there are some positives associated with it too. So let's break it down. Let's get down to our first one right off the bat. We're talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, this game, they are bringing out 48 new tracks for DLC, kind of all throughout 2023, leading into 2023, which is really cool. I mean, that is fantastic. The kind of the meh part is Mario Kart 8 is an 8-year-old game that was first released back in 2014 for the Wii U. This game, I mean, don't get me wrong, it holds still some really good value, and I still play it a whole lot on my Switch with my wife. But, you know, we've been waiting for something. We've been waiting for Mario Kart 9 for quite a while, and to just kind of be like, hey, we're going to give you 48 new tracks. They're more of like, I believe they're more like refurbished tracks from previous games, which is cool in its sense, but it doesn't do anything to add value to the Mario Kart name. I think it kind of leaves things, like I said, stagnant. It does add more flair to allow you to play more, but we were kind of expecting better. We were kind of expecting revamped graphics, you know, better carts, better more characters, things like that. I mean, characters like I'd love to see Solid Snake in Mario Kart. I think that would be so cool because he was in Super Smash. So who knows? But for me, this kind of leaves like a meh feeling. It is a paid DLC, of course, $24.99, which kind of feels like a lot. I mean, just to me, that feels like a lot. I don't think that it kind of holds the value. I think maybe like $15 would have been fine. 20 might be pushing it, or a little bit more fair. But it will also be free to all members of Nintendo Switch Online plus the expansion pack. So for me, this kind of leaves a meh taste in my mouth as far as Mario goes. The first of 6 waves, all which will contain 8 courses, arrive on March 18th and include such classic tracks, like old tracks, as Wii Coconut Mall, N64 Choco Mountain, and Tour Tokyo Blur. So there's a lot of tracks that we've already seen in past games, which is cool because it brings that nostalgia forward, but it doesn't add anything new. It kind of leaves kind of a stale point for where Mario Kart is, and I'm not an overly huge fan of that, but that's just me. So yeah, that's my take on that. Let's keep going with our meh. Next up on our meh list, arriving April 7th, 2022, is Chrono Cross. Not a huge fan of Chrono Cross. I thought it was a significant drop in value in gameplay as compared to its predecessor, Chrono Trigger. A significantly better game in all aspects, so that a remaster of Chrono Cross will be arriving on the Nintendo Switch April 7th, 2022. I have no good things to say. I mean, for me, it's a meh because it's more games to play, more fun to play, but it just is like a no. I'm good. I mean, I don't think it was a good game at all. I think it was significantly lower in value and quality than, the predecessor Chrono Trigger. Now, Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, as it's called, will include such updates as the ability to turn off encounters and an enhanced soundtrack, which is cool. That's a positive, enhanced soundtrack. The game also includes the Radical Dreamers text adventure that was previously available on Stellaview. Not quite sure what that is exactly, do I apologize. Not really feeling it. I'm kind of, like I said, it's a meh for me. Not really a huge fan. If you guys are big fans of it, let me know. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Kind of another meh for me. I mean, I do see positives for it. It's Splatoon 3. This game it does look exciting. Definitely played Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, and I definitely played the character as well too in Super Smash. But it just kind of feels meh to me. It's not a game that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to play. Like, I love this game. So to me, it wasn't like, yes, like I'm so excited to play Splatoon 3. I'm like, cool. Hey, it's Splatoon 3. It's just another sequel to me. Now there's no release date currently available beyond summer 2022, but we did actually get to see a little bit of the colorful and chaotic action in the trailer, in the video, so that was really cool. But again, it's kind of a meh for me. It's just another sequel in that sense. It may provide some new stuff, and maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe I'm, you can't judge a book by its cover, and that's totally fine. But for me, currently, right now, it is a meh. Next up on our meh list, we are talking about Portal 1 and 2. Now, I am a big fan of Portal 1 and 2. I think that they were absolutely fantastic games. Portal 1 was released in 2007, with Portal 2 released in 2011. Fantastic games, absolutely fantastic games. But those games are 15 years old and 11 years old, respectively, with nothing new from Portal 3. And I'm not saying that that's Nintendo's fault by any means. But it's... like I said in the beginning, they're just porting over games left and right to the Switch to try to get people to play, and that's totally fine. But I already own Portal 1 and 2 on Steam because that's where I played them, and I'm not going to buy them again for Nintendo. So it's just kind of a... Like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun. It's an amazing game. Both of them are so much fun. I love the characters. I really, really do. But for me, it just seems like Nintendo is pulling at straws, and they're trying to do literally anything and everything that they can to draw people in. But this is not the way you do it. I don't think so at all. So I'm not a huge fan of that. And to be honest, my next two meh are the same right after it as well too. Because we're talking about Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Same thing. I mean, it's coming out April 20th, 2022, and just not a fan. I mean, it was a great game when it came out. It was a lot of fun to be Starkiller. That was a really fun game, but it is a port from the Wii version from 2008. Like, again, a 14-year-old title coming to the Switch. Nintendo is literally doing everything that they can to try to draw people in because, I don't know. It makes zero sense to me why they're pulling all these random titles over. I don't 100% get it. But if you're a fan of it, if you're excited about it, definitely I'm super happy for you. I really, really am, even though it seems like I'm kind of like bleh about it. But I'm not a fan. I don't think it's a great way to go. And to wrap up, to follow up with another meh, right along the same pattern as I've just been saying, we are getting the Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, coming out February 17th, 2022, which is in a week. Really cool that we're getting more Assassin's Creed, but it's the Ezio Collection, which again was released a long time ago. I mean, the first, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Revelations all released long time ago. Ezio Collection, it is in HD, remastered, fantastic, but I'm pretty sure that was put out many years ago. Releasing back in 2016, again, this is a 6-year-old title finally coming to the Switch. I already own it. I'm not going to buy it again to play it on the go. I want to play titles that are new, that are fresh, that are exciting on my Switch. I don't want to play games that I've played a million times already on a different console. So to me, I was not a fan of what I'm seeing here. There's been, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of ports coming over, which is great for some people, and I'm really excited for you if you're really excited for some of those ports coming over. But that's it. They're just ports. So Nintendo Direct in February was a major flop for me. I really felt like it because it was more meh than there was positives. But let's get on to our biggest flaw, I think, of the entire thing. No release for a Switch 2.0 or the next Switch or whatever it's called, Switch Pro, Switch Amazing, I have no clue, but there is literally no discussion, there's no conversation about the next Switch. I'm not dying to get my hands on the next Switch, as I just picked up my PS5, which is right here. I have my Switch, I have my Xbox One, I have my PC. I'm not dying to get a Switch, but there's so many people that are dying to get the next Switch. They're looking for the next Switch. And it has been years since the Switch was released for Nintendo. And again, Nintendo feels like they're falling flat. They feel like they're kind of stuck in a rut. You're seeing ports. You're seeing, third sequels of games. You're not seeing anything to come to the Switch. And that is a huge flop. That is a huge no in every single aspect. I mean, another big aspect for no is there's no Breath of the Wild 2. There's no announcement. There's no nothing. I mean, I enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I finished it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I have to play this game. I enjoyed it. I had fun, but there's so many people there. I have so many friends that are like, Breath of the Wild 2, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I don't know if they're waiting to have Breath of the Wild 2 on the next Switch. I'm not 100% sure, but there is no information about the next Switch. There's no information of Breath of the Wild 2. There's a number of games that there is just zero information about that we were hoping for. And to be completely honest, like I said before, this Nintendo Direct was a giant flop. It was a giant it was a giant dud, to be honest, because it didn't do anything. It didn't present any information that really got, at least in my opinion, people hyped. I just thought it was like, yay, we're getting an Assassin's Creed that was released 6 years ago for the collection, but the originals were released in like 2008, 2009. Yay! And same with Star Wars The Force Unleashed. 2008, a Wii port. Yay! Like, I don't see anybody jumping out of their chairs saying amazing things. Like, again, there were some highs. There were certainly a number of highs. There were a lot of meh and massive no's. But to me, I felt the February Nintendo Direct was awful. I thought it was a giant dud. I thought it was a giant flop. I really did. I do not think that it did anything to push Nintendo to keep it in the standing with Sony and Microsoft as they are buying up studios left and right. Sony just picked up Bungie. Microsoft just picked up Activision Blizzard. Nintendo's response? Ported versions of 2008 games. Yay! I have no clue. I really don't. Nintendo feels like they're floundering. Feels like they're just flopping and having a hard time trying to compete. And it looks like they have secured their place in third or fourth place. I have zero clue, and they've kind of accepted it. Don't get me wrong, the Switch has sold amazing. The Switch has sold fantastic as far as consoles go, but to follow up with something like that was kind of a giant dud, in my own opinion. I don't mean to rant on Nintendo, I certainly don't, but I'm not a huge fan of what they just released. I think it was quite poor. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Are you guys excited for some of the games that we had talked about? There are more games that they did release as well too. It's just games that I felt that were more important, that needed to be talked about, were talked about. More ports are coming over as well too, which is cool. Yay, I guess. Just to me, I didn't feel like it did anything. I don't feel like it pushed the envelope. I don't feel like it proved, Nintendo proved that they were one of, or a major contender for the best console, best gaming company out there. I really don't. I felt that it was a giant dud. I felt like it was a giant flop. But that's just my take. Please let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below. If you guys are interested to know more information, please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and then to hit that bell to be notified of any new videos that are coming out. I'd love to have a discussion with you guys as well too, so you guys can definitely check me out over at Twitter and Instagram as well. So please let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm really excited to hear what your guys' thoughts are. If you guys are very excited about a lot of things, if you guys feel the same way that I feel, please let me know. I definitely want to talk this out with you guys. But thank you guys so much for just being here. Thank you guys for just being a part of this. I really appreciate it more than you guys know. But in recap, Nintendo Direct February, kind of a giant dud, kind of a giant flop for me. But hey, that's just me. And I've been Stubbs121 with Gamers Initiative, and like we always say, don't forget to be awesome, and don't forget to love, 'cause hell, we could always use it, and I'll be sure to catch you guys in the next video. Adios, guys!